interior just slips off like that. And we've got the battery box and the servo box under there. The battery actually goes in the back, but that's where the speed control and everything goes, underneath there. And it just sits in there. Those floor mats don't move once the gearbox is in. Everything sits up nicely. There's two holes there that locate on the screws for the front bulkhead, and that sits on there like that. And we've got two screws there that hold it in place. So we put them in. Now looking at the front steering arrangement, we had some issues here. If we look at it, the wheels don't point straight because we ended up shimming the diff assemblies just to get our spacing right so they didn't rattle quite as bad, and so everything turned and clunked and everything properly. So I ended up making a new tie rod with a joint in the middle like that, and three little screws across it just to adjust it. If anyone wants the STL, let me know. But that makes all the wheels turn correctly in the right way, and you can see the grey shims in the middle of the diff there.
So that's all the bolts in there. So there we go. It's the motor and gearbox. This should turn, but next job is to solder some wires on these to go to electronic speed control. But if we put some wires on it, we can hook it up to a battery and we can see if this works under load. So let's solder some wires on here. And of course my good soldering iron's at work, so we're going to use this crap. While that's heating up, I'm going to put some stuff away. So fairly noisy, but it's all going. Everything looks like it works. Motor's starting to get warm there. I'm going to put a fan on that, I think. But that's the gearbox. Next job, put it in their car. Set the drivetrain up, see if we can get everything working. So, time to clean the bench. So here we go. Starting to look something like, got our server on. Decent aluminium gear waterproof server for an off-road car. That's in place there, it's rubber mounted, everything looks really good there. The arm clears the bumper nicely. We've had a lot more bits on this in the last little while, and we're going to put them all back on now. But first of all, and we've got a spike blower. Let's put some wires down in here. And that's got to come in through the top. So we've got the, what do you call these, tie rings, swing bars, something like that, hole in. We've got our telescoping joints in here like this. These are actually pretty nice. It's got a reach rod or a swing bar or something goes in there. Now this has got bolts here, it's got bolt holes here everywhere. There's two here. And these are all labelled, so the upper arms go into the housing here. And this one here, then the upper one goes in here as well. So this is basically the front end. Everything's through free floating. We've still got to put shockers on here, which go between the bottom of the guard here and this screw here and this one here. So there's a spring shocker or oil filled shocker each side, just to keep everything in the right spot. And the rear diff is basically the same, so it's just a matter of bolting everything up on there, and we can turn everything back over. So that's got everything back together. A lot of bits. We've got no shockers yet. Everything's still free floating front and back. But we've got a couple of wires and a battery, so this is only going to go flat out. Which is pretty quick, but there we go. You can sit it over on its wheels. Our steering all works on the servo nicely. And we've got the gearbox. We've got the gearbox poking through here into the footwell or into the transmission tunnel. And we've got a place here for our speed control. And our radio receiver. We've got a place in the back for our battery. And we've got these wires that run through here. The footwells. And these cover up the wiring loom nicely. This has a hole here where the switch mounts up for the electronic speed controller. And that sits nicely on there. And we have our dashboard assembly, which has actually got a bit of a scratch in the paint. Whether we'll worry about that, we probably will. And that goes nicely over the top like that, with 2 screws in under the bonnet. So it's starting to look something like, really. We've got our motor in here and our gearbox poking through. We've got the servo down there. We're probably going to put a heatsink or a fan on this side of the motor at this point. And there's not a crazy amount of bits left to print that we can actually do without buying another roll of blue filament. So need to get the cab and the superstructure on, of the cab and the doors and whatever else. Our shockers should be here this week, and we need a radio system. So messing around and got these trims somewhere near about right. I don't know, I think they're way out once we get the shockers on, because the geometry in this isn't as clever as it could be, but down flat they're about right. Got ourselves a radio. It's all right. It's not a real high-end one, but it's better than the $70 crap one that you can get that weighs about 8 grams and there's a rattly battery cage and really isn't much good. This has got a bit of range to it, and it's got a 4-channel, so we can put some other accessories on it, and we can have 10 vehicles, so we might be able to build a boat or something in the future. So all the gear works. A little bit of top end. We've got some steering. We've got at least one wobbly wheel. Don't know why that is. We might have to put some more bolts in it or tidy him up a bit. Anything majorly wrong with it, but we'll need to have a bit of a look at that. I'm sort of thinking this screw probably isn't done up particularly tight, or it might be a short one, something like that. It's done up. That's better. So some shockers which have arrived but are the wrong ones and need to be sent back are all that really stopping us getting out on the back lawn and seeing how it goes. So anyway, I'm going to publish this video. We're getting there. Might have a bit more of an in-depth look at the electronics in the next one. And so thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and be kind to each other, and more soon.